It was past midnight, and the rain wouldn't stop. The small wooden house at the edge of town creaked under the weight of the storm. Inside, a weary man sat beside a flickering candle, sewing the torn sleeve of his 8-year-old son's school uniform. His name was Daniel Carter, a single father who worked double shifts at a construction site just to afford bread, milk, and the old house that barely held together. Life had been cruel to him ever since his wife passed away 3 years ago. He was about to blow out the candle when he heard Ida's soft knock on the door. At first, he ignored it, thinking it was the wind, but then it came again, faint yet desperate. When Daniel opened the door, he found a young girl, soaked from head to toe, shivering in the rain. Her eyes were red, her hands trembling, and she clutched a small designer handbag that clearly didn't belong to someone poor. "Please see broken bar, can I stay here for the night?" she whispered. Daniel hesitated. He didn't know her, and he had nothing to offer. A single bed shared with his son, a leaking roof, and barely enough food. But when he saw her lips quiver and tears roll down her cheeks, his heart softened. He remembered the night his own wife had collapsed outside a stranger's clinic and how someone's kindness had saved her that day. "Come in," he said quietly, handing her a towel. "It's not much, but it's dry." The girl stepped inside. Her name was Lena, and though Daniel didn't ask too many questions, it was clear she wasn't from around there. She seemed fragile, lost, and scared. He gave her his son's old blanket and a couch to sleep on. His son, Eli, peeked from behind the door, curious. "Dad, who was she?" he whispered. Daniel only smiled. "Someone who needs help tonight, buddy." The next morning, sunlight spilled through the window. Daniel had already gone to work, leaving a small note on the table. "There's food in the kitchen. Please eat something before you leave." Lena looked around the small house. Bare walls, cracked floors, and the faint smell of wood smoke. It wasn't much, yet it felt warm. She noticed Eli trying to fix a broken toy car with tape and glue. "Does your dad always work this hard?" she asked. Eli nodded proudly. "Yeah, he says someday things will get better. He never gives up." Lena smiled faintly. For the first time in years, she felt something stir inside here. "I hope." Later that evening, when Daniel returned, she insisted on helping cook dinner. Though she clearly didn't know how to chop an onion, her laughter filled the little kitchen, and Daniel found himself smiling for the first time in weeks. Something about her felt familiar, though he couldn't place it. Days passed, and what was supposed to be one night turned into several. Lena helped around the house, taught Eli his school lessons, and even repaired Daniel's torn work shirt with neat little stitches. Slowly, she became part of their small family. One evening, Daniel found her sitting outside, staring at the stars. "You don't have to stay here," he said gently. "You probably have a family worried sick about you." Lena's eyes glistened. "I don't broken bar, but they wouldn't even notice I'm gone," she said quietly. "They have everything: money, cars, houses, but they never had time for me." Daniel looked at her, speechless. He had nothing, yet he had given her the one thing she'd been missing all along: a kindness. The truth came out a few days later. A black luxury car pulled up outside Daniel's house, and two men in suits stepped out. They addressed her as Miss Lena Hamilton, the daughter of a billionaire industrialist. Daniel froze. She was a millionaire's daughter? Lena turned to him with tears in her eyes. "Please don't look at me differently," she begged. "I ran away because I was tired of being loved for money." "But you a broken bar, you saw me as a person." Daniel was stunned, but he smiled. "Money doesn't change who you are, Lena. You're always welcome here." Before leaving, Lena hugged Eli tightly. "I'll come back," she promised. Weeks later, Daniel received a letter with no return address. Inside was a note that read, "Thank you for giving me shelter when I had nowhere to go. You reminded me what family truly means." Check outside. He stepped out and found a brand new construction van parked in front of his house, with his name printed on it: "The Carter Son Repairs." Inside, there was also a college scholarship paper for Eli and an envelope with enough money to rebuild their home. Daniel couldn't believe it. He fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. For once, life wasn't taking, it was giving back. Months later, the small house turned into a thriving family repair business. Daniel often looked at the sky, smiling softly, thinking of the girl who knocked on his door that stormy night. Lena visited often, now as a genuine friend and maybe something more. And every time Mila asked about her, Daniel would say, "Sometimes, son, angels don't have wings. They just need a place to rest for one night." So if you believe in kindness, share this story, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel because you never know whose life your small act of compassion might change forever. A currency I diaris Sedilla.